Grade 5 students, I've been thinking about what I would say in this speech since the moment I started helping you write yours 3 weeks ago. I had a first draft, and a second draft, and a third draft, and well, for some reason it has been very hard to decide exactly what I wanted to say to you today. A lot has happened this year at ZIS Baden and in grade 5. We've experienced many things together, including trips to Torgum and Davos, exhibition, and going through the changes involved in our school closing. We've had crazy dance parties and heart-to-heart talks. You have all grown, changed, and learned a lot. This has made it particularly hard for me this year to decide on a theme for my speech. I finally decided to stand here today and tell you just one thing. I am proud of you. I am so proud of you because you have listened to the things that I've tried to teach you, and you've tried to apply them in your own lives. You've taken our school's mission to heart, and you have worked to learn, care, challenge, and lead. I'm proud of you for the way you've learned how to set goals for yourselves and work toward them. I'm proud of you for the way you have learned to look for ways to lead so that you can change the world around you for the better. I'm proud of you for the way you have accepted the challenge to grow, to take on new roles and try new things that might be a little bit out of your comfort zone. Most of all, though, I'm proud of you for the way that you care for one another. I've asked you to show kindness and compassion to each other, to reach out and help others in our class who need a friend, to forgive and work together even when it might not be easy to. Our focus this year has been on caring for one another, and I want to tell everyone here about the very special design thinking project that you've all participated in this year. Kendall, who spoke just before me, has autism. One of Kendall's goals this year was to develop social communication skills like carrying on longer conversations and making eye contact with his friends when they speak to him. In order to help him work toward his goal, Mr. Barlow and I asked the students to participate with us in a design thinking project. The students helped identify the behaviors we wanted to help Kendall develop, and then they thought of ways that they could play together at recess to give Kendall opportunities to interact and have fun with the other 5th graders. Along with Kendall, the students designed projects and games, tried them out, reflected on what worked and what didn't by designing rubrics to help them evaluate the activities, and then repeated the process. Over the year, they played tag games, made scavenger hunts for Pixar toys, baked cookies, made smoothies, and acted out scenes from movies, making many, many messes and having a lot of fun in the process. A few weeks ago, I overheard Kendall having a particularly good conversation with one of the students in our classroom, and it suddenly hit me how much progress he had made toward those goals. I realized how frequently he initiates conversations with his 5th grade friends, how much more consistently he looks others in the eyes. I noticed the originality of his communications. I was moved by watching Kendall interact with his classmates, so I stopped all the students to speak to them. I thanked them and told them that through their creativity, their enthusiasm, their caring and compassion, they had helped to make a big difference in Kendall's life. I spoke about the activities they'd done with Kendall, thanked them for spending their recesses shopping for materials and doing activities that they might not normally choose to do. After a minute, the students started to interrupt me. Eliana said, "We've learned so much from Kendall." "He's not the only one who has changed. Kendall's made a difference for us too," Nicholas said. "He's changed our lives," others agreed. I asked the students what they learned. Their answers? Empathy, compassion, open-mindedness, and caring. This is the kind of moment that teachers hope for. 5th graders, it has not always been easy this year to be flexible and patient with one another. As you know, last week was a particularly rough week. Kind of a disappointing way to wind down the school year. Honestly, I was worried about whether or not you truly learned how to take care of each other. I used up all my best teacher speeches on you last week alone, trying to help you finish this year in the thoughtful and understanding way that you have spent the rest of the year. We had one heart-to-heart chat after another, working through issues connected to caring about each other and treating each other with respect. Last week, however, was just one week in a much larger picture. Kindness and caring, those truly are things that people work on throughout their whole lives. As you go on to middle school, I hope you will continue to support one another in this with friendship and understanding the way you have through most of this year. Caring for others and giving of ourselves not only impacts the lives of those we're trying to help, but often, as we've learned, we ourselves are changed. I am proud of each one of you for all that you've learned this year, for the ways you've cared for one another, for the ways you've opened your hearts and allowed yourselves to be changed. You've challenged each other to be accountable and do your best. You've led the way in our lower school, showing others who a ZIS Baden student should be. Thank you for a fantastic year.